Hello guys, and welcome back to this beautiful channel here. We are going to dive into commodities, the weekly close. I usually do that on Fridays, but off Saturdays, but I didn't do it. So with a bit of delay, we will look into gold and silver, oil, gas, all that good stuff. I just did the uranium recap for the week. Go check it out. And as always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, especially here to the YouTube channel, so we can build this lovely community. And always leave a nice comment or a bad comment, depending if you like what you see or not. With that out of the way, guys, let's dive in. Let's dive in here. And yeah, silver, rough week for silver. It started out quite nicely. Let's zoom in here. This actually gold had a bit of a more rough week, not in percentage terms, but still that candle right there, red, 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 all the way down. And yeah, I had some hopes that that big breakout line there would hold, but it didn't. We are now at 23, which is also a major level if you can look across here. A lot of stuff going on at the $23 level. Also, we had a minor uptrend here that I really I don't think it will hold, but I hope. But hope doesn't get you anywhere. I do think that we are coming down to the lower side here of this channel, of this trend line, excuse me. But definitely silver got whacked in the face. I think it's more clear on the gold chart, to be honest. This is the all-time highs here at roughly 2075. And we had a huge gap up Monday morning. We can actually go intraday here if you want to see. We can go intraday right there. You can see huge surge Monday morning, futures open, and then we're coming all the way down, crashing all the way down. And now, where are we? We are actually sitting on a very important blue trend line, very, very, very important blue trend line right there. Breakout, massive, very hard retest. I don't like that. I would prefer that they are very nice and then they bounce, but this is very high angle into that support. So let's see if it holds, but definitely that's a big moment in time. I have a feeling that it will not hold, to be honest, but let's see during the week. Again, it is still my conviction that we're going higher for gold, but this could be a big detour depending on if this line breaks or not. Still, let's see where we are. We are down 0.5% this week already. And I do think if when we come to the gold to the Dixie chart, we can see that it is actually trying to break out of a big inverted head and shoulders as well. Let's go to the beloved or hated gold to silver ratio. I was very bullish here, but again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of green, boom, 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 gold outperforming silver. Both silver and gold has been coming down, but silver more. And yeah, that's definitely a very sharp trend here, and we are now at the upper blue trend line of this 3-year long trend line. So what I'm noticing here, the difference is actually that right now we are in sideways to up price action, and that's usually a bearish sign. But again, that trend right there is very, very, very strong. We can zoom in here on the 1 hourly. You can see that that is the trend that we're in, and hopefully it will break down at some point, but definitely for now it's very, very strong. So we haven't broken down yet. It's still playing with us here. But as I mentioned last week as well, that I think there will be a big scare here to get people out. I didn't expect it to be like this, right? And then I thought we would just go down from there, and then we will come. So definitely we have our scare, but long term gold is going up. There's, in my view, no doubt about it. It is inverse correlated to the loss of purchasing power by the dollar. So, and that's going down. So I want to show you the Dixie, just very shortly what I'm looking at here. Very, very short term. We have this blue, this is the 8 hourly, by the way, that blue channel here. And what we have formed here is actually a very, very textbook inverted head and shoulder. So if we break roughly 104, a tad above, then we actually target 106 again. If we do, then that would mean that gold and silver will definitely have a headwind during that period of time. The 10-year US rates, we are getting a bounce at these highs here, as we discussed. And I think it will go all the way up to roughly here, where we have big support and resistance, excuse me. And then we will see what happens, but definitely that is the target to go. So roughly that 4.33, 4.37 level is where we're going in my view. The trend is down. We have broken the big one. So you can definitely argue that yeah, the trend is down on the daily. That's a given, but nothing goes in a straight line. So hopefully we will do something like this, right? But let's see when we get to that 4.35-ish range. Oil, USD WTI. We came all the way down almost, maybe if I added a bit more perfectly there, maybe a bit below, it doesn't matter. There it is. We came all the way down to the lower side of this very steep downward parallel channel here, broken down off the green support and the orange or the golden channel right there. And now we're coming down and we're retesting from below. I do think that we have the 3 impulses already in the making for this move. So now we really want to break back above here again, but we have a lot of resistance to chew against. We have the golden trend lines here, and the green one, when we get there, will be a back test. Also, we have some moving averages coming down, so a lot of pressure to the downside. But I do think we could see a short-term bump here. It just depends on if we can take out these big resistances. The most ideal way would be a big snapback here. Then we have some sort of bottoming pattern there, but that's a month or two from now to really to be in that boat. But but yeah, again, if we cannot break these resistances, then I think we are going all the way back down to the 20-year long trend line right here. You can see where we have interacted with it all the way across. It goes way back already up here, as you can see. So that will be at roughly $65 per barrel before we eventually, in my view, go higher. That is my lowest target. Obviously, if that trend line breaks, then it's a whole different scenario, but it is support until proven otherwise. Palladium, again, I want to zoom a bit in here. We know the history. If not, check out previous videos. This false breakdown here, we hope to be a big snapback in, and then the pullback should be bought. Clearly, we only came halfway into the wedge, and we are now rolling over again into some sort of double bottom scenario here. We have some positive divergence on the RSI, so maybe again we are not turning bullish until we get back above the wedge and 1150. It is just as clear as day. That is what we're waiting for. Why? Let me zoom out. We have that red long-term support and resistance line there. We want to get back above, plus we want to get back above the falling wedge. Until then, it's a major downtrend, but I'm confident that we're a lot more closer to the bottom than the top. That is a given for me. But I want to see the confirmation, obviously. Nothing much has happened here for the platinum. We're still looking for a break of that long-term trend line here. We are just below. You can see we have been playing with that for like 3 years. We want to get back above, and we want to get into 950 is the first major level to get back above short term. And then obviously long term, we have a lot of stuff to chew through. We have that parallel channel there. We have the big neckline here, the blue. So if we can get well into the 1000s, getting up to here, that's insanely bullish, but that will take some time to get there. It might even take like half a year from now, or 5 months, 4 months from here to get there. It will be a big wall of worry. Copper, again, copper is just a beast, a weird beast right now. Huge false breakdown here, all the way up to the $4 mark, all the way down again. I mean, this is just back and forth, but now the levels are hugely clear. Above $4, very, very bullish. Below 3.5, very bearish. So yeah, it is what it is for copper. Within here, you have no idea what's going to happen. But this to me is a bit more bullish, to be honest, because you have this rounding bottom. Then hopefully we can have some sort of handle here. So definitely way more to the upside. But last week we had a huge move down, but then again, the buyers came in at the highs here at roughly 3.7. So let's see again, above $4 for copper. That is the big level to look for. Same thing for silver. 26 is the big level to look for. So at least in my honest opinion. We will go to the daily here for nat gas. There's a lot of lines going on here. I'm sorry for that. I just want to show you some brief history. We had that gap up here. We closed it and it didn't hold. And I said, if it doesn't hold, we will go down to these lows here as minimum. We did get some bouncing, and then we actually this morning has gapped way down. And now I've added in this possible, because we don't have the confirmation, support here at roughly 2.35, give or take. Let's see what happens when we get there. We might have this parallel channel here. Again, that is a bear flag, or mostly bearish. So that is my next support, which is not confirmed, so it's more of a suspicion. But again, if there's nothing valid here, then we're going all the way down to 2. Why 2? Why 2? Because of this trend line here connecting a lot of stuff going down there. So that would be the primary target to reach if there's no bias here, really. Same thing for the TTF. Exactly the same thing as I explained for the nat gas. The big bear flag, again, we have, if this doesn't hold, roughly 30, 34, 33, then I think that there's a big move down to roughly 22. Why 22? Because of that trend line here. So it is what it is. Again, there's the positive side is that maybe you could argue that you're trying to form some sort of bigger reversal here, but this we will know in Q1 2024. Actually, we have a coal here. We looked at the level back from 2018, and we are actually bouncing big time here. And we are actually peaking a tiny bit above our blue line there. So now it's getting really interested in the coal sector. It's getting really, really interested right now. What we want to see is just how big do we clear this one, and then we want to see how the pullbacking goes. What kind of formation do we make here? But again, we're peaking above, so very intrigued here, and there is some plays that we can be looking into. BTU, for example, if we start to break here, should be a good play. Maybe we can look at that in some other video. BTU was a big performer in 2022 with like, I don't know how many percent, but it was definitely one for the books. Bitcoin, big crash here at the open, down like 6 from the highs, I think 6% or so. We did meet my target, at least for the inverted head and shoulders, at 41.6k, excuse me. And now we're coming back into that. If you can see here, we're actually coming into that target line there, getting some bias at the moment. But again, this looks like a major top for me. And let's see how low it goes. I think this is a major top, and that we could be in some sort of retrace down here. Again, Bitcoin looks very, very strong, but I would argue that this move that we see here is kind of similar to this. So at some point in time, we will have a lot of sideways chop here for Bitcoin. But let's see, I could be very wrong, but my inverted head and shoulders target has been met. So that is that. I want to go to yes, here it is. I want to go to Heiken Ashi. It's a bit more clear. The uranium spot price keeps grinding higher. We have the proposal for the uranium ban today or tomorrow. So let's see where that takes us. But definitely strong uptrend. But again, at some point in time, this trend will pull back. But for now, let's enjoy it. The spot price keeps going up. It's a thin market, so it is what it is. Looks very strong. Sugar broken a big green uptrend line there. Had a big run from 2020, and now we have ran from roughly 10 to roughly, let's call it 30 for even numbers, so like a 3x. But now, where we're going, in my view, the break here suggests to me that we're going down to roughly 20, and that should be an entry point due to this very well-defined line. So roughly 20, that's an entry for sugar. Soybeans, again, we have the wicks here, and we are back below the wedge. So yeah, again, I'm not in any camp right now, but a false breakout here usually leads to a move here, and then that would trigger more downside. But let's see again what happens within this very small triangle. Whoa, right there. Who knows? Who knows? Oh yes, same for silver here. It got whacked last week. It's got whacked here at the big inverted head and shoulder neckline there. Now we're back into our expanding formation there. Not ideal by a mile. We would prefer it to stop there, obviously, and then we go. But definitely it got kicked in the face big time here, also in the ratio against the M2 money supply. So gold, same thing again here. We have this golden uptrend there. We had a bit of a wick and then smashed all the way back down. It looks better than gold because we still have our blue, than silver because we have our blue both like that. But definitely a big red candle here, and this will take some weeks to really turn around. But I think the long-term stuff right here with the break of that flag is definitely setting up for gold to outperform the M2 money supply. But last week's candle, that's not the most ideal thing to look at. Let's see what happens until we meet next time, guys. Stay safe and yeah, cheers, guys. Bye.